Dear America, if you think I'm about to deliver a message of encouragement or hope, if you think I'm about to tell you that we're better than this, that yesterday is not who we are, then let me be absolutely clear. You got me all the way fucked up. Instead, let me give you the real. The people responsible for yesterday's shameful insurrection, besides the lawless domestic terrorists, are Donald Trump, people who voted for Donald Trump, lawmakers like Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham, who coddled, enabled, and kissed Donald Trump's ass, the media who refused to treat his lies like actual lies, the networks that built huge audiences around pushing his propaganda and inciting people's worst instincts, and the social media platforms who refused to regulate his racist, bigoted words and helped him push a dangerous agenda that deeply radicalized and divided people. Your Frankenstein got somebody killed. If we're going to get through this, we need to stop lying to ourselves. Who we are in this moment is a broken, racist nation that is overrun by white supremacy. It's time to get our shit together, America. Oh, and by America, I mean white people. And that's straight up, no chaser.
Whew, that was a steamy open. My friend don't play. That's Jemele. She does not play. Welcome to 160 Sports. It's Cari again. That's Jemele. I'd like to wish you guys a happy new year, but it feels like December 37th.
Yeah, because I thought it was supposed to end in 2020, the nonsense, but apparently that isn't the case. You feeling?
How much you drank yesterday?
So, memo to all the people who thought this was going to be dry January.
Oh, hell no.
That shit ended pretty much yesterday.
Oh,
right?
hell no. After yesterday, I remember literally, I'm not even kidding, true story. I was working out. I went back in the house, I turned on the TV, and then I grabbed a bottle of wine. How'd that work?
I thought that was Thursday.
Nigga.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to put your business out
Yeah,
there.
all in the street.
Yeah, my bad.
But shall we tell everybody what we're talking about? You already know, but we thought we'd give you guys just a recap of the foolery, the tomfoolery.
Yeah, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it, because Trump supporters, I would say, I don't think it's fair to say that they were breaching the Capitol. Because in many cases, they were just ushered in and said, hey, like it was some kind of tour. So you already know previously on America's Bullshit how we do this segment. I would say this shit is unbelievable, but it's actually not.
On brand.
Yes, it is completely on brand for this country. Take a look.
You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are
I only made it 11 seconds through this video, by the way. This is the most I've seen of it.
I know how you feel. The other. This is crazy. This is crazy.
The Capitol building. They are marching through now.
So where do we begin? White supremacy, special privilege, white privilege, police working with those. It's hard to police those that you actually agree with. Or do we talk about if any of those domestic terrorists were black, the carnage we'd be dealing with today? Where do we begin?
Well, the thing is, we don't have to just talk about it, Cari. We actually know how they would treat black people if they were protesting. And that wasn't a protest, by the way. That was a riot. That's a totally different thing. It just shows you the two Americas that we live in, is that you have black people who are simply asking,
by the two Americas we've always lived in.
You're right. Two Americas we've always lived in. Right there. That is what the police military presence looked like when there was the protest this summer, all right?
For Black Lives Matter.
For Black Lives Matter, George Floyd, Ahmaud
yeah.
Arbery, Breonna Taylor. That's what it looked like then. Very different scene when we look at the Capitol, where people were allowed to not just come up the Capitol steps, but to get in the building. I don't blame the anger and frustration that a lot of black people feel right now seeing these scenes, especially knowing these are two different causes. Let us go back to Colin Kaepernick, right?
Oh.
Because apparently that was too much. Kneeling on a football, you know what I'm saying?
Just take a beat.
Kneeling on a football field. This
protest
cost this man his livelihood.
It divided a league. Everyone thought this guy was domestic terrorist #1. You might have thought he shot and killed someone. You might have thought actually he stormed the Capitol. You might have thought that he was walking into someone's office leaving messages saying, guess what, I'm here, we're not gonna stop. You might have thought that he wanted to make sure I can incite some type of riot to make sure you knew that we are here to stay, whoever the we is. I get so fucking pissed off every fucking time we deal with these people because they have no respect. And I just say this, and I don't give a damn what nobody says. Honestly, Jemele, we sit here and we watch this privilege. They don't fear the police. I would never in my, I don't care how much money I have, I don't care how successful I am. If I get pulled over by cops, I'm nervous. I'm afraid.
If you even see them behind you.
I am like 10 and 2.
Correct.
And I, quite frankly, I'm a believer. I really have hope that we can be a better place. I truly do. So that's why I get so pissed off and so angry when I see this.
If anybody deserves to love it, it's us. We built it.
Shit.
We have saved the democracy many times, saved America from the worst of itself. So who else is better equipped to love this country? Who are the real patriots? And that are the people who have been most oppressed by this system who have still loved it anyway. That's the definition of love, is knowing in many regards that you may not get anything back, but you still are able to give selflessly anyway. And that's a lot of Black and brown people in this country.
You better than me, Black girl.
Listen,
I'm in my feelings today.
Well, I was gonna say, like, we're in our feelings right now, and we deserve to be in these feelings however long we want to, given everything that's happening. But for a moment, let's take a step outside of our feelings.
Okay.
So we had to witness a violent insurrection, and now a lot of lawmakers who were once tethered to Donald Trump are certainly saying psych, as if they can just walk away from this
with it.
fire that they have started and have no accountability.
They did in a bedded, dog.
Yeah, they did. And that leads us to our question of the week with one of my favorite people. What in the actual fuck will anybody be held responsible for this nonsense? To help us answer that question is political strategist and attorney, my friend Angela Rye. Angela, welcome to the show. Look, after yesterday's complete shit show that is America, what in the actual anybody be held responsible for what happened yesterday?
Jemele, all I can tell you is I hope so. You know, as you know, because we talk about these things, when the guy broke into Speaker Pelosi's office, I have a very good friend and somebody who I worked with who works for Pelosi. I was freaking out, as you know. And so for me, I'm just like, the least that can be done is they be held responsible. Would they be held responsible to the degree that folks who look like us or Black Lives Matter protesters would be held accountable? Probably not, because as you know, Jemele, yesterday we would have been dead. Right? So what I hope is that there is finally a standard set this year where people, regardless of how they look, are held accountable for wrong behavior.
When you say accountability, I think that it's going to be very difficult to see that. At least I can't from my perspective. And so I'm really curious what you think about this. Estimated that 70% of Republicans think the election was rigged, unfair, say whatever you want. Lies and conspiracy theories are rampant. If you could take all of the experience that you have, obviously as a political analyst, the relationships that you have in DC, do you see any real form of justice for those who aided and abetted Donald Trump and for the President of the United States currently at this moment in the near future?
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I know just as well as you all do, more than politics, and that's white privilege and white supremacy, which we also know this country was built upon. The fact that they believe that an election was rigged is completely understandable. You know why? Because they stole one in 2016. All the things that existed to get him there, knowing that you're sitting in a seat that you're not worthy of, oh, it's got to torture you. They talk about the Dr. King quote, especially over the summer with George Floyd, that the riot is the language of the unheard. That's not what this is. This is the language of people who know that they are just this close to losing power. And we know that your power has been rooted in the oppression and the abuse of other people. This is exactly how you act.
I need you to wear your legal hat here, Angela. We're hearing a lot of rumblings that the idea of impeaching him again, of perhaps removing him from office, has been an option that's being discussed on the Hill. What's the reality that either of those options will happen?
Well, I think there are two things. One is the option you talked about, impeachment, and then a subsequent vote for removal in the Senate, which Mitch McConnell is still running the show right now. I don't see that happening, but there is another option, and that would be his cabinet working to fulfill what is required in the 25th Amendment and removing him that way. I don't know if that will happen either. But worst case scenario, we got 2 weeks left. Now, there's a lot a crazy person can do in 2 weeks, but we just got to keep hope alive, as Reverend Jackson would say.
Let's go ahead and keep that hope alive.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. You are such a diamond in our culture, and we value you.
Keep holding us down.
Thank you, sis.
Coming up, comedian Roy Wood Jr. brings us some much-needed humor on a day we could use it. Hey everybody, welcome back to Won't Stick to Sports with Cari and Jemele. I am Cari, she is Jemele. You know, it has been a tough few days in this new year. How do you deal with racism and, you know, just the crap that's been happening so much?
I find humor is very, very helpful. A good laugh, a good meme, those things help.
Okay, I don't know if there's a meme to describe what we have witnessed this last few days.
But there is something better.
Who?
We have a person that will help us make sense of this fuckery. A friend of mine, comedian, actor, producer. He's a Daily Show correspondent, Roy Wood Jr. Welcome to the show, Roy.
What up, though?
All right, Roy, since you're a creative type, I need you to help us do something important here. I need you to help us comprehend the state of American right now with a little analogy for us. What would you compare the state of American democracy to right now?
America, you ever been out to eat and you seen that one couple over there that was arguing to the point where they're embarrassing themselves in the restaurant in front of everyone? That's America. America is that couple when you at Applebee's or Chili's or Fridays and they just over there in the corner and you be sitting at your table enjoying your government and you look, ooh, look. That's who America is right now. This is an embarrassment.
Well, Cari probably doesn't know what you speak. I don't know the last time Cari has been in the Applebee's or Chili's. She don't know that struggle like we know it, Roy.
Roy, I feel so
You do understand, we're only a week into this year, man. This is supposed to be a happy time, Jemele. The McRib is back. It's not supposed to be this type of tomfoolery happening when the McRib is back.
Speaking of tomfoolery, a McRib is tomfoolery.
It is. I don't recognize Ewok meat. Sorry.
That is tomfoolery. Yeah. Do you eat McRibs?
Well, look,
do you eat McRibs?
Them Ewoks are delicious. I know, look.
So you're from Alabama. Given that Georgia win, let's talk about that. Democracy seems to be doing well there. So do you believe that quietly, not so quietly, there's a silent majority? Is it blue?
I hate that I cannot remember the person who tweeted this. I feel like I saw it said a number of different ways on Twitter, but they said that the South is not red, the South is suppressed. And what we saw in Georgia is what happens when you can't suppress the people. So, yeah, I do think that there's definitely a group of people, like in my home state of Alabama, you know, down in the southern parts of the state, there are people that have to drive 3 counties over. They have to create carpools and bus trips to go vote. So if you just have more polling stations, if you just change the ease of voting, you would see a big change. You know, people say voting doesn't matter, but if it don't matter, why they try so hard to suppress it?
So as we know, we have an inauguration coming up. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris.
Do we? Are you sure it's still gonna happen?
Well,
do we have an inauguration coming up?
We allegedly have one. Well, we know for sure. They are getting sworn in on January 20th. How that happens is up for debate. Given everything that has happened, that we've seen with, you know, the storming of the Capitol, how are you feeling about that inauguration?
Nervous. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris need to fly up to the International Space Station and get sworn in, the only place where we know for sure, possibly, that the rioters can't catch them. And so Joe, Kamala, y'all need to go down to NASA, get you one of them astronaut outfits, and own up there and put your hand on the Bible up in space.
You put your hand on the Bible up in space.
Up in space.
Because that's the only place you can be protected. And by the way, I even dread, he's saying something in a funny way, but you're bringing up a very, very important point. The level of security, I'm assuming, for the inauguration has to be intense. And I don't want to end this interview on a heavy note, and so I need your help. I want to play a game called trash franchises. Politicians edition, though. So I'll give you a politician, and you tell us what sports franchise that you think they belong to. But again, remember, it's trash franchises, right?
Not the good ones.
Not the good
well-run ones. Trash ones.
The trash ones. Perhaps a team you love.
I doubt that there's any Lakers in this list that you're about to read. But...
So if Mitch McConnell were a sports franchise, who would he be? Who would he be?
Oh, Jaguars.
The Jaguars.
The Jaguars.
Oh,
Jaguars.
Really?
Trash, been trash, mostly trash, with the exception of that one year where they went to the AFC Championship, but that's because it was year 2 and didn't nobody know what plays they was running.
Okay, all right, I can accept
that. But historically trash.
Historically, he is historically trash.
Historically, Mitch McConnell has
He
been
is
trash.
historically trash.
Okay, so Nancy Pelosi.
The Knicks.
Damn, I feel like that was harsh.
I think
No. Here's why.
Okay.
I say she's the Knicks.
Okay, go why?
Bad. Habitually does very little for you to root for. But deep down inside, there's a piece of you that still got hope. As much as you talk bad about the Knicks, you still hope that this is the year that they get it right. So that's what you feel about Pelosi. Be like, come on, she gonna do it this time. She's gonna get us $2,000. $600 again.
All right, Roy, because we don't want to end this interview on a completely sour note, we're gonna give you an opportunity to pick more hopeful, if not winning, franchises. What franchise would you pair with Stacey Abrams, who helped save democracy once again?
Once again.
Stacey Abrams, she grinded. She did it at a time, I'm talking going back to 2018 with the flim-flammery with Kemp.
Yep.
She basically was a franchise that built that system, grinded. Nobody saw it coming.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, boom, champion. I'm going to say Golden State Warriors.
Hey!
Not the Warriors now. Not now.
All right, they
but
are
just,
above
if you
500.
look at what the...
But you're just saying back when
Let's
they
just
were the back-to-back champions, when they
Okay.
came back and won it again, we
Okay.
with you. Yeah,
There
we
you
with
go.
you. They had the best
one saw them
backcourt.
coming.
Nobody said nothing about their backcourt.
A dynasty, no doubt.
A dynasty, no doubt.
No
She's set up for a dynasty.
doubt. That's fair. Okay, so listen, Roy, we appreciate you, and I'm going to just send you off with this message. Stay away from the McRib.
Please,
It could kill you.
because you might be glowing on the inside and you don't even know.
Carrie, listen, we all got to die of something. Okay? And I have,
Do you want to go out with the
chosen
McRib,
my
though?
path.
You've chosen my path.
But they know. That's why they take the McRib away from us so we don't get addicted. That's
Okay.
why it just comes and goes every now and
Every
then
so
like an
often.
eclipse.
Roy, I need
Yeah.
you to love yourself, okay?
I did not expect this judgment from y'all, and I love you all.
We love
Cari
you.
Jemele, I love y'all, I swear.
Roy, what we're doing is saving your life.
Thank you.
Yeah, we love you too.
Yes.
That's why we're telling you, just,
Yeah.
put a pause on the McRib.
All right, Roy, take
Roy,
care.
thank you. Up next, Kelly Sad Loeffler gets what she deserves. A middle finger from her team.
Welcome back to Won't Stick to Sports. Now, Carrie, something you and I have talked a lot about off air, but we feel as if people should be talking about this more, is that it wasn't just Stacey Abrams, it wasn't just Latasha Brown with Black Voters Matter, it was also the WNBA that played a major role in what happened in Georgia. Raphael Warnock, Reverend Raphael
The good
Warnock,
Rev.
The good Rev. He was polling at 9% in August before the Atlanta Dream and the WNBA decided to throw their support behind him and elevate his entire national profile. He is now Georgia's first black senator, which is historic and great, but also trifling at the same time.
All at the same
at
time.
the same time. So let's talk about it, about these women who, some of the players we know personally.
Yeah.
They don't have $1 million contracts.
No.
They don't have
$30,000, $40,000 maybe.
at most, right?
I thought it was ingenious during the time, summer, the bubble, and they all decided, guess what? I'm not fooling with Kelly Loeffler, and the fact that she owns the Atlanta Dream and she's denouncing BLM. Let's figure out a way to get rid of her. While we may not be able to remove her, right, as an owner, we sure in hell can protest her being a lawmaker.
And they got her up out the paint in a way that matters more to her. Because, I mean, she's the richest senator, or was the richest senator that was there. And the power means a lot.
The women of the WNBA always lead, and we have to give you props. We appreciate you. All right, so since we are here, I thought I'd take a moment to talk about the sad lady, Kelly Loeffler. Back in July, she went on Fox News to give her sad opinion on Black Lives Matter. Take a listen.
The WNBA has embraced the Black Lives Matter political organization. This is a very divisive organization based on Marxist principles that, seeks to destroy American principles. And I had to draw the line.
Did you, Sad Kelly, have to draw the line? You say Marxist and divisive, but BLM is simply saying, don't kill us. Don't kill black people, police. That's all they're saying. After yesterday's events in our nation's capital, Sad Kelly, we see divisiveness. We see privilege. We see the real threat to our democracy, and it is not BLM. And you, Sad Kelly, are a part of the problem. Your name is now Sad Kelly. The WNBA has a real problem on their hands, and it is Sad Kelly. She should not be an owner of any team in this league. This league stands for diversity. It stands for opportunity. It rides with Black Lives Matter. I know that Sad Kelly, because that is her new name, can't be forced to sell her team, but the league should know they have a real problem on their hands. She's not wanted by the players, or for that matter, the folks in Georgia. That state said, we simply don't want Sad Kelly to be a part of our lawmaking process. And so at the end of the day, I say this to Sad Kelly Loeffler: you need to get the out the paint.
Sad Kelly. All right.
That's her name. Sad Kelly needs to get up out the paint.
Yes, they got her up out of there. And just kudos to those women, as we mentioned beforehand, all the black women everywhere.
Amen.
Again, how many times do we have to save democracy?
That's what we do. And then you go home and make Black Eyed Peas.
Yes, collars, Black Eyed Peas, and democracy. That's what black women are about. Well, we thank everyone for returning in this new year with us.
Yay.
I cannot promise it'll be better than 2020. But
we're in for
I can't
another
promise.
roller coaster of a ride.
It is already. We're not even that far in, and look what's already happened. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back next week as we deliver more truth, collard greens, and black eyed peas. Only one of those is true.
Collard greens and black eyed peas. Black women save the world.
Listen, I made me some fire black eyed peas on New Year's Day.
I doubt it.